broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akaman. Now, let the buzz begin!
There it is. Hello everyone and welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV here, covering the Gotham After Show. It is Season 2, Episode 5, Scarification. I'm your host, as always, Steve Kaufmann. You can find me on Twitter, @Steve Kaufmann. But I'm not alone.
No, you're not.
Not alone.
I wasn't going to leave you alone.
No, I'm not alone, or I'd be taking phone calls.
You would be taking. I'd call you.
Yeah. You would call in.
Like if I wasn't here? Yeah, I'd just call you, yeah.
But if people need to tweet at you.
Hi, guys. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos, Monsebolanos.
Spelled it all out there for us. Michael Drew, not with us today. He will be joining us in the future.
We hope.
But, I mean... We got the OGs right here.
Right?
The OG Gotham crew.
It's like Season 1. Aww.
Yeah. This was a fun episode.
I liked it. I know you had, like, mixed...
I had reservations about the Pike Bros of it all.
Yes. I liked it. I thought it moved quickly, which I appreciate.
Yes.
I forgot I was like, man, it's almost over, and I couldn't believe it, and I hate when you're watching a show and you're like...
when you're just waiting for it
15 minutes in. I felt like I completely lost track of time. I was very... immersed in the world of Gotham in this episode.
Me too.
Yeah.
We finally get to see, in this episode, what I did enjoy is we got a pretty good glimpse of what this Gotham is, which is somewhere between the Adam West Gotham and the Tim Burton Gotham.
Yeah.
And like that, they've always rode that line, and they pretty much just go one side or the other. Is it super serious? And then there's bombs in aisle 4.
Right. Bombs in aisle 4, your favorite part.
Hashtag bombs in aisle 4. Oh, it was toxic green brass knuckles.
Toxic.
She needed a price check.
That's, yeah.
Because you'd think those will be $12.99, but they're probably something like $75.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know where inflation fits into Gotham. But speaking of the mark, we're going to get right into Gordon, Unit Alpha. They take down Penguin's count house.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
They were building a rocket launcher, too? Is that what
they had a rocket launcher?
Or something? Yeah, like they either had one...
They had a rocket launcher.
Yes, and then there was a $2 million estimate.
Like a $2 million, and that's probably a month or less for Penguin.
Yeah.
And Penguin comes out and pretty much just like that, the money's inconsequential. Someone took down my count house.
Yeah, he snaps.
Yeah, he completely unravels at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited to see. I was very excited to see that, and
like when he beats his worker that tells him about the count house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He beats a worker just for giving him bad
yeah.
news.
He's like, "Were you happy to tell me
That's
that?"
the Penguin I love.
Yeah.
But we can stick to Gordon and Unit Alpha. They're trying to take down the Penguin, and Gordon just has to ride that line too.
Yeah.
Speaking of riding lines.
What are we writing the lines about?
No, like I was talking about the Tim Burton Adam West Batman,
totally.
riding a line. That Gordon's riding a line.
Oh yeah.
That he wants to be a clean cop, but he's in bed with Penguin, but he has to still take down Penguin's count houses, and it's all kind of a mess for him.
And I'm actually surprised that Penguin hasn't figured that out yet. But I guess he's so
Penguin's
caught
busy.
up. Exactly. I was like, he's so caught up in what's happening with his mom and Theo.
It's like the one time in Penguin's timeline
that
where he wouldn't immediately go, "Oh, Gordon screwed up."
Right. Especially because, not to like go away from Gordon, but just because Penguin even says like, "I don't know who to trust." You know, it's just like, how have you not figured it out? But yeah, you're worried about your mama.
Well, and also Butch tells him like, "Oh well, whatchamacallit, you maybe someone flipped."
Yeah.
Implying that Gordon's going after him again. He's like, let's not jump to that conclusion.
Right.
Because Gordon seems like such a lock.
Yeah.
Gordon seems like such a lock for Penguin that it just doesn't make sense. Where it's like, no, that can't be it.
Yeah.
Turns out it's it.
It is.
It's it. That shoe doesn't drop yet. We find out that because Penguin is in bed with Galavan, wants him to take down like 10 addresses.
They don't give us
burn
like
them to the ground.
Yeah, they don't give us but
it was
several.
five in one night and likely 5 in another night.
And another night, yeah.
And Penguin goes and hires the Pike brothers. Mm-hmm. And they all go to the Merc.
Yeah.
I love the Merc.
Yeah. And we could talk about how it was difficult first to get the Pike brothers. Selena had to go with Butch. Butch needed Selena. Because the only person that everyone knows Fish loved by the end of the day was Selena.
I want to talk about that a little. That there are Fish loyalists.
Yes.
That think Fish is going to continue to live. Like, Fish is going to come back. Fish didn't die.
I thought that was interesting, yeah.
It's really interesting because we were talking earlier about them trying to put Nigma on a shelf so they can take him back down and make him a villain. I feel like they're doing that with Fish.
I always felt like they left Fish on an open end. Like, it wasn't completely shut that, yes, she's dead, she's never coming back. It's like, yeah, you assume that, but I don't think they really sealed the deal with her.
No, I think they left that door open.
In case she
season 4,
maybe, yeah.
Into season 3, kind of let's bring her back, let's do this. They get in the Pike Bros. Mm-hmm. They send their grease man to the Merc. Oh, wait, Unit Alpha is raiding the Merc.
Yep, they're on it.
Because that's a good place to... I love how Gordon just knows about the entire underworld.
Right.
Making this all really... Well, it's corrupt, so I know where to go. Mm-hmm. But I finally have backing of a captain that'll...
Right.
That'll actually do
not
this
just
for
a
me.
captain, but other people. Like, he's got Strike Force with him.
Yeah.
So it's like... Yeah, he feels comfortable.
Let's go raid the Merc.
Yeah, let's do it.
And raiding the Merc, they wind up shooting... I forget the gentleman's name...
I don't know if they actually gave us a name for any
of them. I'm calling him Grease Man because he was the Grease Man of this group.
Yeah.
He tries to shoplift C4 because the C4 is like $500.
Yes, that's expensive.
You'd think the security would be better at the Merc, but
no, he
tries to shoplift it.
Yeah.
He gets shot and explodes.
Yeah.
Love it. Love everything about this.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. As they were shooting at him, I didn't even think about his giant stick in his pants. Hey. I didn't even think about that. And I was like,
I didn't either.
I forgot.
It was one of those things where, well, at first I was like, wow, that's really graphic. They're just going to shoot him.
Yeah.
And then, like, on the second shot, he explodes. I'm like, oh, yeah, he had C4.
Yeah, yep.
That's incredible. Also, thank you to the chat. I can't read that username, but yes, Eagles, go. I'll be back. I'll be back when I'll be in the other room watching Monday Night Football the second this is over.
Yeah.
Not to discount this.
No, not at all.
Selena Kyle knew Bridget. Is it Bridget Pike? I believe it wouldn't be Bridget Pike.
No, it's not, because her mom was sleeping with the Pike brothers' dad.
So it's Bridget something else.
Bridget something else. Maybe we can, let's see. Keep going.
But Selena...
Bridget something else.
But Selena is friends with her. Mm-hmm. And now the Bridget that they treat very poorly. Very poorly. Not like family.
Not even a little bit.
We're
You're
like,
tripping, girl.
You're our grease woman now.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Because they needed somebody light and slim to be able to fit through the vents.
Fit through all the stuff. She goes to the first place, and we still don't know what these buildings are.
No.
And they tell her you have 90 seconds once you spark the wick. Oh, by the way, after she sparks the wick, run into this safe, pick up a knife.
Yeah.
With blunder saws, right?
Blundersaw's eye.
With Blundersaw's eye for a retinal scan.
Right.
Pick up this knife, which took her like 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, that was way more than 90
seconds.
I wish that would have been like sped up. Like I still do it that way. That's fine. But it was so like chill. She looked at the knife and she was just like, ew. It's like, no, 90 seconds. No.
Whatever.
Oh, whatever.
She grabs the knife, climbs through a vent, almost burns her leg. Well, I guess she does burn her leg.
Just not, I guess.
Almost destroys her leg with fire. Mm-hmm. And then she makes it to the van, and they're going to burn down 4 more places. Mm-hmm. The knife looks old.
Very.
That's all we know so far. Knife looks old.
Very antique-y.
And then Bridget and Selena Kyle have the part of the episode I'm not as big a fan of. They have this big exchange about she wants to be included so much that she'll look past...
The family talk? Is that what you're
the family talk, that she wants to be included in this family so much that she'll overlook the fact that that's not her family. That she was roped into it and she has no choice. Like...
Okay, so actually they do have her as Bridget Pike / Firefly.
Okay, and then she does turn out to be Firefly.
Yeah. So she does turn out, like we were talking about.
Or she's a legacy character of Firefly.
Right. And remember, I was like, could she be? But Michelle Ventimiglia, that is her name.
Oh, she did a great job.
Yeah, I liked her.
I wasn't a fan of
that
interaction at this time. Like, it just felt like it felt like a kind of a pile on.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was just to like, it's probably it's doing something for us. It's planting a seed for something with Selena in the future when in regards to family, because you're right, they've never put Selena in like a serious conversation about family, you know.
I liked that we got that insight. I just didn't. There were a lot of things in this I liked that I just didn't care for it as a whole, though.
Got it.
That was how I feel. That said, Bridget keeps going.
Yes.
Bridget goes
in the car.
Well, and then the next night, the police figure it out because they're police, and the Pike brothers are pretty bush league as arsonists.
Right. Well, they figure it out because they make a connection that all the buildings were owned by Wayne Enterprises.
Yep.
So they're like, they left from west to east. So if they keep going, this is going to be
this will be the next one.
Exactly.
Sure enough, they show up. She's there with a flamethrower, looking like Firefly.
Yeah.
And she kills Garrett.
Unfortunately.
Who called that?
I think you did.
I think I called that Garrett was going to die.
Yeah.
I'll just
pat yourself on the back. I couldn't believe that she was just, it's like, girl, you just became this bad person literally 24 hours ago.
I think that's what
that, and then it was like, here you are taking on the cops.
I think that's what this whole was for me, where it's like, you're gonna not only gonna take on the cops, you're gonna take on the bad force that's trying to take over the whole, like.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I wish this storyline of the Pike brothers and the arson was maybe split into 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And then we focused more on what we found out about Theo and Penguin and all that. Because you're right, this was too quick for me for her to just be like, I'm going to take on the cops. I'm going to just blow down this area. I have no problem with it. Girl, literally 24 hours.
Like,
you were just this girl that was like crying because you were being mistreated and...
Get it together, girl.
Yeah, figure it out.
Girl, figure it out.
Figure it out.
But she's not dead.
She's not dead.
She's likely in jail. And possibly in Arkham. Well, like, when they try her, they'll probably send her to Arkham.
Yeah.
So, I say this a lot, putting characters on a shelf.
Yes.
We get to put this character on a shelf.
Even though she's with Selena, who knows when they'll catch her at this point.
Yeah, you're right. She wasn't... Yeah, never mind.
She hasn't been caught yet.
She's with Selena.
She is. You're right. When will she be caught? Who knows?
Yeah, she escapes with Selena.
She escapes.
We get more Selena Kyle. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
Maybe I'm too harsh on this whole story. Then again, maybe not. Ask me next week. We get a tiny nugget. With Gordon and Dr. Leslie, who I still think is evil. Dr. Leslie. I still think Dr. Leslie is evil. Just not this week. And they're on a double date with Nigma and Kristen Kringle. We got a tiny... Yeah, double date. We got a tiny bit of this. I enjoyed this.
I liked it. I thought it was cute. It's like you said earlier. I totally want this to keep going so that he stays normal as much as possible before he goes and becomes what we all know he's going to become.
Yes.
You know.
And I think I said it last week, I think she can serve as a pretty good catalyst for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That her death would serve, her death or incarceration or path to insanity, like, they create a great status quo for him to just be happy.
Right.
That when the status quo gets broken.
Yes.
Oh, he's a villain now, and he can take on whole season, like a whole season or a whole half a season arc of taking over the city as, once again, a legacy character.
Yeah. But not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He's just there now.
Yeah.
And then he'll probably be a brilliant scientist working for the GCPD and help us solve some stuff. I like this.
Yeah. I liked that whole, once they were at dinner, I liked that Lee said, no, he's keeping it cool.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, there he is, that other side of him.
Every pot has a lid.
Every pot has a lid. That's so cute. I recently heard that expression. I was like...
Not in my kitchen.
Not in your kitchen? Not every...
I mean, Not every like.
There is though.
Just it's like having socks. You can't always have. You never have the even amount of socks, or sometimes something will go missing.
Right, but
happens.
there's still.
I see what you mean. That
no matter what, yeah.
Somewhere there is a lid.
Yeah, and
in
somewhere
the universe.
is that one sock you're missing. No sock comes alone.
That got deep.
Over socks and pans.
Speaking of deep, we kind of rushed through these first 3 topics.
Yes, because you want to talk about.
We want to talk about Penguin.
Yeah.
And Butch. We'll start there.
Penguin and Butch.
Butch has to go sign the Pike Bros to go do the arson for Galavan. Penguin is literally a tool of Galavan, which is not very good for Penguin.
Right.
Penguin doesn't like that. Penguin is no one's tool.
No.
But they found a soft target. His mother's still locked up, and he's at Galavan's beck and call.
And he tried to, like, not be that guy, to not be his Penguin.
Yeah.
He tried to say, wouldn't I serve better as a friend, as, like, an ally, or anything like that, and it doesn't work.
Because that's not Galavan's style.
No.
Galavan is the type.
Right.
Galavan is the type to, like, no, I'd rather use you to your fullest potential and then just kill you.
Right.
Let you go.
That's it. Like
exactly.
exactly.
I have zero interest in you being a long-term ally.
Yeah. Penguin has to know that he's not going to survive this.
Oh, that's why he's being cunning now.
Yeah.
While still being the right-hand man, he gets this sword that Bridget nearly dies to retrieve and leaves an eye on the floor. I hope they didn't need that eye again.
When they had Bunderslaw and Tabitha was like left or right, what did you think it was?
I thought it was hand.
I thought it was a finger.
Yeah, like finger for...
Yeah.
Same deal, but
exactly, like a fingerprint that was going to let them in somewhere.
That's cooler, though.
Yeah, the eye...
Taking an eye is way cooler.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, it's probably a finger. I even wrote down finger. And then we find out it's not. And I like how they don't tell us right away.
Yep, it's
and
in
then
a box.
there was like 3 scenes where the box just moved from person to person to person. Finally, we see it when they need it.
Yep. And we find... And through a long, sordid affair, he gets the sword.
He does.
He knows the sword's old.
Yeah. And he's like, there has to be history here.
Butch knows an antiquator.
Yes.
Antiquator? Antiquator.
Yeah.
Someone will correct me in the comments.
Yeah.
Antiquator.
Mary Joy is the actress.
Mary Joy is the actress that plays Edwige. She was great.
Yeah.
She was great. I kind of want more of her explaining the history of Gotham.
Yeah.
It said 200 years ago, this sword was used back when 5 families ran the town.
Yeah.
It was the Elliots, the Kanes, the Dames, the Waynes, and the Dumas. But she didn't say the Dumas right away. And
I think she did. I wrote down that at the first list of the 5.
Okay.
I think so.
I only caught the Elliots, the Kanes, the Dames, and the Waynes.
Yeah, but I feel like she did mention just the 5 straight out.
Well, she said that there were 5, and then I felt like she named 4, and then started mentioning a Dumas.
Okay.
Caleb Dumas
and
was trying to have a little back room action with Celestine. They get found out. Celestine, of course, is a Wayne.
Right.
They get found out. She screams no consent.
Right, because she was promised to an Elliot.
Yes.
So she didn't wait or didn't agree with that. Very Romeo and Juliet, forbidden love.
Like she wanted to be with Caleb.
Exactly.
She was promised to an Elliot. But then she also the second the shoe dropped for her,
she threw him under the bus.
She completely threw Caleb under the bus.
A little. Yeah.
That with that Wayne knife, they sawed off his hand.
Yeah, or chopped it off.
No, they didn't. They literally sawed it off slowly.
Oh, you're right. You cringed and you were
I cringed because
you're right.
We become so used to like someone's arm getting hacked off with it, but to actually be sawed off with a blade is incredible.
Yeah.
But she tells this entire story to Penguin that essentially the Dumas, because of this moment, are no longer a family, are not considered one of the 5 founding families. Streets were repaved, streets were renamed.
Yeah, she said Wayne's wiped the Dumas out of history.
Yep.
That's what she said.
Wayne completely out of history, and sure enough, the Dumas became the Galavans, and we get everything.
Yes.
We get it.
We get it. I love that whole scene. I loved the black and white story that they showed us. And the way she said it, she was just so, like I said, I was so immersed in the world of Gotham. Like, I was there with her. I felt like she was right here telling me the history of this knife.
This 300-year-old city.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And now it becomes clear because Father Creel, who finds the knife, says, we're going to kill Bruce Wayne.
Straight up.
Straight up, we're going to kill Bruce Wayne. Which begs the question, is he the only... he'd be the bloodline for the Waynes.
Right. He's probably the last.
He's the last of the direct bloodline, but I'm sure there are other Waynes.
Yeah.
So I find that, like, that would be interesting. Are they going to track down other Waynes? Or do they only care about the direct bloodline? And then we get the Elliots, the Kanes, and the Dames. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure they're going to have to keep... The Galavan / Dumas are just going to try to kill everybody.
So you don't think it ends with Waynes?
I feel like the Waynes, because it's a blood feud, it's the first one.
Okay.
And I feel he'd have to go after all the families that exiled him.
Right.
And he probably did already.
Yeah, you're right.
But the Waynes are the big blood feud. The only thing is, like, Gordon has to protect him.
Has to protect Theo or Bruce?
Bruce.
Well, yeah, and that's what's going to be the end of the season. Because right now, Jim gave Galavan his endorsement.
Yeah.
So I think when he finds out that he's going after Bruce, that's what it's going to be. Because Gordon isn't going to turn on Galavan because Galavan is after Penguin. And be like, oh, well, you know? But once Bruce is in the story, that's when Jim will turn on Galavan or not?
Well, actually... Well, also, let's talk about Penguin and Butch before, because then it's all predictions from there. I actually have a prediction about Butch that I'm really proud of. I think I've said last season, but it kind of rings true right now.
Right.
Penguin finds all this out.
Right.
And tells Butch, what we're going to do is have you infiltrate the Galavan crime syndicate, if you will.
Right.
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, you're going to go into the Galavan house and
he pretty much said that's a basic plan. I wrote basic B-word plan.
It was.
It's basic.
And he says that. Butch does say that. Like, this is too basic. He's going to figure it out.
And he pretty much says, well, we have to sell it.
Yeah. And what they're trying to sell is that, he said, like, we're going to make him think I've lost it.
Yep.
Penguin, because I already kind of snapped in front of him.
Yeah, that's the narrative.
Right. So I snapped, I've lost it, and I think you betrayed me. And then he's not going to believe that I betrayed you. He's like, right, but he'll believe that I think you betrayed me.
Yeah, he'll believe that.
He'll believe that. And that's what they're trying to sell. So they need sympathy.
So they chop off Butch's hand.
Yeah. Penguin.
Penguin chops off Butch's hand.
Let's give Penguin some credit. He let him drink.
Give him some really nice scotch.
And let him drink more than one. I think
he got two really nice scotch. Well, kind of ordered him.
Ordered him, but it was because he didn't want him to be in so much pain after he chopped his hand.
I have a prediction about Butch. Do you have anything about this episode before we
jump
forward to predictions? Because we covered all the points. We got all our reactions in.
Yes, let's go into it.
And now your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right. I'll let you go.
You
first.
go, because I don't have anything about Butch, so get it out.
Okay. Butch was brainwashed by Victor Zsasz.
Right.
Victor Zsasz is incredibly underutilized up to this point.
Uh-huh.
I don't think he was brainwashed by Victor Zsasz.
Who do you think he was brainwashed by?
Nobody.
You think he's been faking it?
I think he's been faking it.
I remember he's been faking it season 1.
He's been faking it for the long play.
Okay.
But I don't think he's a fish loyalist. I think he started out as a fish loyalist and became, like, Butch is too good a character and Victor Zsasz is way too good a character to both just to report to Penguin. I think this is an incredibly long play that we saw tested tonight. That it was like, Penguin is going to chop off his hand and he's going to go work for the Galavan or work for Theo Galavan. Mm-hmm. Let the entire thing happen how it happens. And then him and Victor Zsasz take over the city. What I think will happen is Penguin will vanquish Theo Galavan. Tabitha will join him, and then Butch and Victor Zsasz will take over Penguin. Those are my broad strokes.
Okay, I'm with that. I feel like in season 1 I said for a little bit I was like, no, I don't think Butch is really brainwashed. Mm-hmm. Like I just remember I was like no, and then I completely left that. It makes sense though. Because if you're right about how he loved fish, and then I think was like, I gotta look out for me for number one.
Yeah.
So it was just like, this is how he's been looking out for himself, staying alive, is by pretending to be brainwashed. But what I was gonna say, I disagree. I don't think Tabitha survives.
You don't think Tabitha?
No, I don't think.
When do you think she goes?
Not yet. By towards the end, but she'll go before Theo. I just don't. There's no way either of them survive.
Ooh.
Whether it's Tabitha gets killed by Jim in a crossfire, then Theo, wants to go after Jim and all that good stuff, or because of Barbara, Tabitha dies.
I could buy that.
There's a love triangle. And like Tabitha even slightly flirted with Butch
for
like a hot second.
I forgot. Yes.
A hot second.
That's why I think she's going to side. She might be caught in the middle of Butch, Zaz, Penguin.
See, but I think that's all a play for her. Like flirting with Butch, I think is connected more to the Barbara. And it wouldn't. What if Tabitha snaps and kills Theo? I don't know. But I'm saying that love triangle with Tabitha is no bueno. And I don't see Tabitha surviving.
Fair enough.
That's what I say.
That sounds good. If people disagree with you,
okay.
I kid. If people agree with you, the people who have something to say about that, where can they find you on Twitter to let you know?
Well, if you want to agree or tell me how you disagree with Steve over here, you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at Steve Kaufmann. That's Kaufmann. I'm going to go in the other room and watch me some football. So I'll be tweeting about that if you'd like to join me.
Yeah. And you can tweet me about that too.
I think you're going to join me for a minute, watch some football.
Yeah.
And thank you guys so much for watching and listening. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz ya later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.